Welcome, guys. This is our new game talk again. Fortuna Sittard against Ajax. A disappointing 0-0. We got with us Gary. How are you doing, man?
Afternoon, everyone. Yeah, all good. Thank you, mate. Just watched the game that was the emotional roller coaster again of Ajax, but yeah,
Yeah,
frustrating, man. Frustrating.
yeah. I can imagine. I can imagine. So, like, before we start going through the game, let me first talk to the viewers and ask them to hit that like button if you like what you see, and of course, subscribe if you haven't done already. And yeah, if you have any comments, questions, bring them on, and let me see if I can put them in, and Gary might go through them as well. So Gary, 0-0. Walk us,
Another
man. Walk
draw.
us through the
Another
game.
draw.
Tell
I
us.
don't know. I
Tell
mean,
us.
listen, I haven't got many positives today. There was a couple of good moments from some signings that had some good touches, but overall, we lacked cohesion, speed, game plan. Just did not know. I mean, when the subs came on towards the end, a little bit better, but there was just no energy for me for the whole 90 minutes. The chances were far and few between, and something. Listen, I get we have to gel. I get that. I'm not an idiot. I know we have to gel, but something subby is not right in the way this team is being coached. They just don't seem up for it. They're not buzzed for it. And
Yeah,
you look at the last 5 minutes, there's just no intensity at all.
yeah. Ridiculous, right?
Yeah.
I
I just
mean,
think, I mean, the goalkeeper saved us, what, 3 or 4 times again? You know, the defending from the middle side I thought was okay, but from the left and right back, we're lucky they didn't have better attackers. Wrench was terrible. He got pulled off.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, overall, really, really, really negative. And we're going into the break now, and we come back to two really tough games with Twente away and the Classica at home. I'm a little bit nervous, man.
Yeah, no, I mean, obviously, I can imagine, but when we look at the game, can we blame the team for how we played? Who should we blame at this moment for the way we played?
Listen, it's a difficult one because we've got a whole new team. We've got all these debutants on today. We're expecting fireworks straight away. But first and foremost, in this team, there's no confidence for me. No confidence in there. No one's taking the game, as we say here in the UK, by the scruff of the neck to be really responsible for the team's performance. There's not, for me, there's no leaders in the team at the moment. And yeah, of course, the coaching, we don't know what's going on. We don't see. We just guess and guess and guess. But yeah, something for me, what I see today, and especially seeing Stein's face at the end in the dugout. I don't know if you saw him when the final whistle went. He stood there for about 30, 40 seconds, just didn't know what to do with himself. And yeah, for me, I just don't believe the players at the moment believe in what he's trying to achieve with the club.
Yeah, and that's quite worrisome, right? I mean,
Yeah.
how many games are we having formally played
Well,
this
it's a
season?
third league game and a couple in Euros, right? So
Yeah,
it's
so
not at all, and all the games have been very, very similar. The
yeah,
performances have all been very low key. There's been probably 10 or 15 minutes that we've played decent football, and today our football wasn't that bad in terms of build up and all that. There's just no excitement. There's no buzz. No one's putting their head down and going for it. And that's for
yeah,
me. We're lacking leadership. Confidence is a big one for me. Um, Again, when you look at the subs that he brought on today, I think we would have done the same. We would have brought the same subs on. But they're just something in this team at the moment that is it a pressure? It obviously must be a big pressure that they're feeling on their shoulders because Ajax is a massive name,
true,
and
of course.
that's how I feel they think they are. But yeah, this is the first time we're going to hear it from me. I'm not too sure this manager is going to survive before the winter break.
Gary, you were one of the positive guys within all the panel groups, huh? So
Mm.
saying this means something. But
I
and
just, yeah, I
that
just,
worries me as well.
yeah,
I've been criticizing the gameplay since we played against Ludo. Got a lot of feedback from watchers that I'm too negative and so on and so on. But I mean, if I listen to you and saying that you don't have any real confidence, I mean, it says something. But okay, let's go back to the game. First 11, we had four new starters,
yeah.
being Sutalo, being Avila, being Miko Tatso, and help me out, being
Yeah, I've got it written down. We got Avia, Hato, Satalo, Wrench,
yes,
Tarahirovic, Hinston, and Van der Boomen in the middle, and Forbes, Robbie, and I call him Mika. That's my new name for
yeah,
him.
make
Um,
way easier indeed.
yeah,
But
yeah,
let's go through them one by one. I mean, the new
yeah.
ones. What do you think of Avila? The way he played?
Listen, I'm on a lot of WhatsApp groups and I'm on Twitter during the game. Listen, it's his first minutes. He got some real abuse on X or Twitter and a few other groups that we're on together. Listen, he wasn't great, you know. But the problem you've got is he's stuck in there. First game of the season for him. First game for him for his season. Fortuna, they were up for it today, and every time he got anywhere near the ball, they were on him instantly. He just wasn't ready for it, and for me, he just showed a little bit of inexperience, really.
Yeah. So we really need Sosa on the left back, right?
Yeah, yeah,
He's
100%.
he's the one for us.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
100%.
Okay. And what do you think? What do you think about Sutalo? I mean, the captain. Which I mean, were you surprised by the way, him being the captain?
I would
Yeah,
have
for
given
this
it
game.
to I would have given it to Branco in the morning personally because of that he's a Dutch boy and he's been there a bit longer. But I see the sense of it that he's coming from the national team and he's a captain there. And I think he tried to do it for a bit of reverse psychology to try and get the players a bit more up for it. And new guys in the team, going to try and drive them forward. And he did okay today. I thought he was quite calm. He looked good on the ball. He's strong, but he had a couple of wobbles though. I thought in the second half where I didn't think he expected the players to get on him so quickly. And he was lucky that there was one that we were given a foul on, and there was one where he just got it back to the goalkeeper in time. But again, first game, right? But
Yeah.
he looks for me the pick of the signings that we've made this summer.
Yeah, most likely. And of course, the left back sounds interesting as well. Also, one
Yeah,
of
yeah,
the starting players for Croatia.
yeah.
Okay, so decent performance. And then if we go to Miko, how did you feel he played uh, in
If I had to
midfield?
give him, yeah, there was a lot of arguments about him going from midfield to the right and back and forth. He had some nice touches. You can see he's a player. He's got lovely feet, great burst of speed, and he cuts in really well. I think he'll come good for us. I can see some really good goals, especially from outside the area from him. But again, it's difficult to judge on the first match of knowing where to go and getting to know his teammates and where to pass to and whatnot. But overall, he had a few dips where he went missing in the game where I didn't notice he was there. But that's most of the players anyway. But I think for me, I'm excited about him. I like his pace. I like his energy, and he's got lovely feet. And that shot that he had in the last 10 or 15 minutes that nearly went in, good save by the keeper. On another
Yeah,
day that could have been
was decent.
top corner. But I
Could
like
be.
him. I like him a lot. But again, I think individually it's difficult because the team overall today are still lacking a real buzz.
Yeah, and what I really saw during the game is our lack of imbalance of our midfield. There was a
Yeah,
huge gap between the offense and midfield, or midfield and defense, whereby Fortuna. I mean, by the way, I really need to praise them. They played a good game,
yeah, they were up for it
but
all day.
in the counter attack, in transition, they were so dangerous. Do you
Yeah,
think
yeah.
we missed Taylor in midfield, or is it more like tactics and Stein did a terrible job, or what is your view on this?
I think it's a bit of both. Again, when you're playing with all these new players, then they're not going to be used to each other. And Taylor's been playing there for a long time, and but again, I think it does come down to a bit of both. I think we missed him initially at some stages, but the coach as well. But the overall team, none of us look at the panels. None of us really know what 11 we're going to have from one game to the next. And you're right in terms of our build-up play and getting back to help the defense when they were on the counter. It's not right, and I don't think the players know their individual jobs yet. And there's something that's again goes back to coaching. It's worrying. Of what game plan are we setting out in the morning for these guys to go out and perform? And that's what is making me nervous about this coach's future.
Yeah, it's gonna be a interesting couple of months coming, knowing that
Yeah,
very challenging games are upcoming.
But he
And of
played
course,
the young guy. Sorry to interrupt. He played the
no,
young
no,
guy
go ahead.
Clinton today, and
Yeah,
I think he had a good first half. Personally, not like listen. Not I'm not trying to be super positive on him. He had a decent game, a couple of close controls, and a couple of shots on goal. But he's not the player we need, right? In that area at the moment, that's going to win us big games and take us to the title. But what I liked about the lineup today, Subby, was that we've been so frustrated the last couple of weeks. At least he put these players that we wanted to put there in their positions to see what they can do. But yet we're still massively imbalanced, and it's got to change quickly.
well, he got lots. He still got lots to do. Okay.
We've got to be like
Um,
Ajax and just be very patient over the next couple of months
yeah, I
now.
don't know. I don't know whether he will remain patient in the upcoming weeks. Let's
We'll
wait.
see.
Let's wait. Let's wait and see. But of course, there are also new. There were also players that came in. Also, new starters, Garay and Chuba.
Yeah.
Any feedback? Did you expect
Yeah, so
a bit from
with
them?
getting Wrench off, I thought straight away Guy looked really good on the right back position. He looked a bit more natural, a bit more calm. He had a couple of decent runs, but again, he only played what was it, the last 20, 25 minutes.
Yeah,
So what can we judge really on that? But he for me, if you look at the last 25 minutes, we wasn't that much in danger down our right side compared to when Wrench was there. Wrench just was all over the place today. And yeah, he's definitely not for me, that guy. But with Akpom, what I liked about him, and coming from a British guy that watched a lot of the Prem, if you look at the couple of chances that he had today, he looked like a sort of championship type English player that had a good touch on the ball. He was a bit unlucky as well. I mean, a couple of good tackles on him. But I think I wasn't a great lover of that signing at all, you know. But I think he might score a few goals for us and give Brobby a few headaches, because Brobby, again today, you know, his attitude is a great finish when he was offside,
yeah,
and he holds the ball up well again, but there's still something not right with that guy. And when he came off and we saw him on the bench, his attitude looked a bit childish again. But yeah,
yeah,
going back to Akpom, for the 25 minutes or so that we saw him today, once he gets used to again our way of playing, we just want him to have some more shots. That's what we want up front. We're not shooting enough, are we? As a club, as a team, we're not having
no,
enough
I
shots on
mean
goal.
we don't even create chances.
No.
If you look at the expected goals for this match, Fulham exceeds us by a
Yeah.
mile,
Yeah.
and
It's
that should
not
say
good enough at
enough.
all. Yeah, it's just not good enough. But again, it's always going to come down to the pressure of this coach and all the amount of signings we've made in the last 2 or 3 weeks. Until we get that one performance where we win 3 or 4-0 or whatever it may be, and we get a bit of confidence going through this team, we're going to have very frustrating weeks ahead unless we get that one performance to change the fortunes of us.
Yeah, no, I mean, huge challenge for him as mentioned. You already mentioned there's an international break coming up. Do you see this international break as an advantage? So because certain players will be in a new environment, less media coverage, and so on and so on, or would you have
Mm.
preferred to keep these players during the international break? Would you have
Yeah,
is the international break an advantage, or do you consider this like a disadvantage at
yeah.
this
For me, a
moment?
bit of a disadvantage because we've just got these players in. We can now play them, and they're going away straight away. I'd like to have had the 20 game next week and then done an international break, because they've only had a few days together, really. And I think, yeah, for me, I would like to, another week and then go on their international break.
Yeah, yeah,
But
it's
again, it's a tough one because they're all going to go away now, and we don't know what the problem we've got now is all this social media stuff. The players read it, no doubt, as well, you know, and they're going to be a little bit down in the dumps today. The coach is going to have a lot of pressure on him before we play Twente away, and that's a tough place to go as well, you know. And if we don't get a decent result there, we're at home to Feyenoord, where it could go either way. And
yeah.
without putting a spanner in the comments and the works now, if we don't win against Twente and we don't play well there, because we didn't play there last season, the last game of the season,
No, well,
that we then get to final and lose at home, I think the coach will go.
interesting
I think.
statement, Gary.
Let's see. Let's
Yeah,
see. But I think he'll go if we lose those 2 games.
yeah. So okay, going back again to this game, who stood out for you this match, and who was for you the worst
Um,
player?
the
Uh,
worst player.
well, so both scenarios, worst player
Yeah,
and the best
what
player.
worst player for me was Wrench. He just looked completely out of sorts today. His head was, I don't know what was wrong with his head. He wasn't. It was all over the place, falling over. Bad tackle for the penalty as well. You
Yeah,
know, he just wasn't there for me. He's just not good enough. But that goes back a couple of years now. You know, he seems to get away with murder at our club, and but I don't want to put him down too much because I think at the moment, who else are you going to play there until the other guys settle in? But yeah, for me, Wrench worst player, best player. Again, it's difficult because there's not many there. If I look at the starting line and the subs again, I'll just go with Hatto, my
yeah.
favorite, yeah, my favorite gem. He done nothing wrong today, did he? Really? You know, he's 17 years old. He's embarrassing some of these guys that have got some years ahead of him. And but again, best player. I mean, he was consistent today. He done nothing wrong, but no one was heads and shoulders above anyone really. There was no
No, it
intensity
was.
at all. No
I mean,
intensity today.
well, the only positive that we can mention is we finally kept a clean sheet.
Yeah.
We got the nil.
Oh, without the goalkeeper, man. Yeah, it could have been
Without
three
a
or
goal,
four.
well, Gorter
Yeah.
is doing. Yeah, I mean, we need to mention Gorter as well. He had a
Yeah, he
decent
played really well. I've got no
performance.
issues with him. I liked him for the last 2 or 3 years. I know we had some issues with him. He's got a bit of a mouth on him but that's good. He's got a bit of an attitude. We want him
Yeah,
to have
well,
a
I
bit
mean,
of an
that's the
attitude, right?
Amsterdam. That's the Amsterdam bluff, eh?
Yeah.
The
We want
arrogance.
him to we want him to be like that. So at the
Yeah.
moment, I've got no issue with him being in goal all season for me. He was good. But I'm still going to be positive, I promise you. I'm still going to support this team like I have for the last 20 years. But at the moment, for me, this particular coach, his facial expressions, his body language, at the moment, man, not for me.
No, not for you. Well, you said you're trying to remain positive. Okay, let's look at the upcoming games. We got a game against Twente. We
Yeah,
got a game afterwards, Marseille, home game in the Europa League, and then Feyenoord at home. Three
yeah,
games. I want to hear from you the results. So I don't need the score. I just want to know win, draw, lose
yeah.
these three games.
All right.
Twente,
Twente, draw.
Marseille.
Marseille. Are we away, Marseille
No,
first?
it's a home game.
A home.
If I recall correctly.
Win.
Okay, okay, Mr.
I think the
Positive.
European nights with us, it might bring something out in the players and the Classica, which I'm going to, and I can't wait to see you guys again.
Yeah,
It's my favorite game of the season, man. Draw.
draw. So I mean, the positive thing that you can take from here is we will remain undefeated.
Yeah,
this
undefeated, but
season,
still angry in 4
but
weeks' time.
still okay. And with Stein after the final game, you think?
Yeah, if the results go the way I think they will, I think this Sven has got a responsibility to this manager. He had no real choice at that summer to bring him other than anyone else that we wanted, and I feel that he feels a personal agenda to keep him in this job. And I don't think he will go instantly. It's just because I'm angry today about it all. But I don't think the feelings I'm getting from Stein at the moment, I don't see him getting past Christmas personally.
Okay. Well, I think Kabir, one of our panels,
Yeah.
this was his statement. He wouldn't see him. He would give him until Christmas.
He's
So
normally right, man. He's normally right. So
let me look at the sentiment of the viewers. Let me go through the comments to see
yeah,
what the sentiment is. Let me see. Contarius 9. Next games are away against Twente, then Europa League against Marseille, and then Feyenoord. Yeah, good luck with that.
they're tough. Tough. I
Uh,
agree with that comment, and it's difficult to predict. We don't know what Ajax are going to turn up every week at the moment.
yeah.
But yeah, it's a tough old 3 games, man. Tough old 3 games.
Yeah, and then we got Progressivo saying, yeah, but the whole team have to click first. That will take some time. Akpom was great today. Really good working rate from him. Miko Tatso was very unlucky and needs time to find his place. So he's trying to remain positive for now.
Yeah, I think it goes through to the comments. I agree with him. Akpom didn't do anything wrong. He had some good touches today. Worked hard for the time that he had on the pitch. And with Mika, I like his footwork. I like he's got a bit of guile. He gets down, head down, and I think he's got a bit of Anthony about him. I don't know if you saw that with Mika today. Not as in the left foot
Yeah,
and the
a little
overall,
bit
but the
indeed.
way he goes down, and I
Yeah,
think he'll come good. This guy.
yeah. Let's hope, man. So Roy van Hensberg, don't want to be negative, guys, but this was totally bad. We're missing leaders. Do you agree with that,
Yeah, one
Gary?
hundred percent, 100%.
And
There wasn't anyone in there, like I told you 10 minutes ago, took the game by the scruff of the neck. There was no one there that, for me, was dominating our team to lead them forward to win that game. Nothing.
but who do you consider? Do you consider to become leaders within this squad? I
Again,
mean,
you've got to look. You've got to look at the Hattos, Sitalos of this world, and I was hoping a bit more from Branko as well. They're the three, and again, I think Robbie should be doing a lot more with his tenure and his age with the club and coming back. But it's got, for me, it's the three. It's the Sutalo, Hatto, and Branko at the moment.
yeah. Okay. Let me still go through the comments. Yeah, you already mentioned this, but from Christian, do you think this team will be ready in a couple of weeks against Feyenoord? The way
It's
we
all.
are
It's about.
progressing?
It's about confidence. If we get a good result against Twente and Marseille, we could go and smash Feyenoord with confidence. It's all about the confidence, Abby. We have to
Yeah.
get some wins and some goals and positive energy in the club. That's what we need to win these games.
What a surprise that a team that never played together did not gel well together. Who would have thought it from
Yeah,
Remy?
that's it. That's it. And that's the
Yeah,
whole point of today, right? That we're trying to find these excuses of why we didn't go and beat them 5-0 today or why we didn't lose 1-0. They're a brand new, we've got a brand new team, really, if you think about it.
yeah,
And that's the thing,
yeah,
it's going to take time. And I think
yeah,
any club would have this issue other than Man City,
yeah. No,
So,
no, no. But that's true. That's true. But um, if you look at it, of course, new players. And before we end this cast, just one quick question for you: do you see the hand of Stein at this moment? Do you see the game plan that he wants to
no,
introduce? Because you might have players that needs to gel, they need to get used to the system and so on. But if there is a game plan, they can be bad at that at
yeah, yeah,
performing that game plan. But at least there is a game plan. Do
yeah,
you
yeah.
see that game plan?
I mean, I'm not a tactician. I'm a football fan of scoring lots of goals and lovely passing. There's a lot more people on this that will see more than what I see. But at the moment, from today, the last couple of games, especially during the week and today, there has been no plan. It's sort of hit and hope. See what happens, see if someone makes a mistake, or we can get a quick goal and then build from that. But yeah, for me at the moment, the coaching from the training pitch to what we're seeing on the pitch, there's nothing there for me at the moment that suggests that it's going into the player's head. And if you remember Robbie's face when he was on that bench,
Yeah.
shaking his head, he's obviously not happy. And I know
No, of
he's always got
course.
the hump. I know he's always got the hump anyway. That guy, he's
Yeah.
never really happy. But he seemed a bit discontent today, and that for me, he's now a veteran player for the club compared to the new guys. He should have a bit more of a positive attitude, and it just stems to me that they're not happy with what they're being told to do at the moment.
Okay. Well, Gary, thank you for giving us your view on the game.
You're welcome.
Unfortunately, a disappointing result. What I do feel is there is still like two sides, one really negative and the other one's trying to remain positive. Uh, but yeah, we'll just have to wait and see, man. There's a team stand, there's a team that wants him gone, and let's just remain confident and hope for these upcoming games to be to have a good result, man.
And so, don't forget
Um,
before you go, the ref today as well needs to be commented on as well. There was two or
yeah,
three decisions today for me that I know we're biased, but it wasn't good enough. With Robbie's free kick and the penalty shout as
yeah,
well.
yellow card, yeah.
It could have
No,
gone. It
true,
could have gone. It
true.
could have gone another way. So it's not all doom and gloom, but we need to sort ourselves out again,
Yeah,
like I told you on Thursday, as soon as possible.
yeah. Well, let's wait and see, man. International break now, and then the next game against Twente. Hopefully, we'll be ready. Stan has a lot of homework to do. See you all guys after the break with a new game talk.
Lovely.
guys.
Cheers, guys. Take care.